All right. Well, today I'm going to show you how to do percent of questions where you just do it in your head. Um, this would be for double checking or doing your head. Later on, I'm gonna want you to. I'll show you how to show your work, but this is really for double checking. This isn't how I want you to. Um, well, let's do problems unless you don't really have to show your work. Okay. When I want you to show your work, I'll show you how to make your circle obey your circle. Okay, like we did in proportions in Unit 5. So here we're going to flip it around here. So let's say we start with 600. All right, what's 100% of 600? So this is just going to be notes here, okay? So just, um, so this is percent of questions. We're going to do it in our head. This is for double checking, right? So I'm going to give you a bunch of questions here. We're going to do 100% of 600, 200%, 50%, 10%, all these percents, and then we'll do another one for, say, starting with 4,000. But anyways, 100% means all. And so what's all of 600? Well, that'd be 600. It just means you're just multiplying by 1. 100% means 1. Because remember, you move it over to, and of means times. This is just 1 times 100. Now 200% means times 2. It means double. So what's 200% of 600? Well, that'd be 1,200. What's 50% mean? Well, it means half. What's half of, isn't that a half? What's half of 600? Well, that'd be 300. And 10%, you just move it one to the right. 10% means 1/10, which means you move the decimal 1 to the right. 10% of 600 is 60. So then 70% of 600, well, if 10% is 60, wouldn't 70% be just times 7 times 7? Wouldn't you just multiply that by 7? So that'd be 42 with a 0. You just go times 7 times 7. If you can do 10%, then you can do 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%. Like here, what's 30% of 600? Well, 10% is 60. So 30%, you're just going to multiply that by 3. You get 180. And you see how you can do that super fast in your head? When it's okay to do it in your head. Now 5%, shouldn't that be half of 10%? If I can do 10%, if 10% is 60, then shouldn't 5% be 30? And 1%, well, that's 1 out of 100, and that's just going to move it 2 places to the left. And so that's 6. If 100% is times 1, 10% is times 1/10, which moves it 1 to the left. 1% is going to be times 100th, which moves it 2 to the left. And once I can do 1%, I can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9%. Because 1% is 6, so then 4% would be 24. 1% is 6, so 9% would be 54. Because isn't 10% going to be 60, so shouldn't it be a little less than 60? So anyways, so there's how to do it. And so here's another practice here. I'd like you to try. Let's try and, again, I'm going to give you another one here after this for more, more practice. But let's see if you can do this, okay? So I'd like you to try and really engage here, not just sit and watch. See if you can do it. So here, I'll go ahead and hit pause and copy. Copy this down, all right? All right, don't just sit. Go and hit pause and get that all copied. Now I'm gonna hit pause. What's 100% of 4,000? 100% means all, because it's 1 times, of means times. So what's 1 times 4,000 is 4,000. Or what's all of 4,000? It's 4,000. Now 300% means 3 times, because you move it over 2. It's 3 times. This is 3 times. That's what you're doing. which would be 12,000. Now 50% means half of, which means divide by 2, or half means divide by 2, or half of 4,000 would be 2,000. You can do that in your head. Now 10%, you're just going to move it 1 over. That's going to be 400. So 60%, you're just going to multiply that by 6. That's 24 with a couple zeros, 2,400. 70%, you're just going to do, there's 10%. So 70% is going to be 2,800. 5%, well, isn't that going to be half of 10%? If 10% is 400, shouldn't 5% be 200? There's 10%. And if 1%, you're going to move it 2 places. And so it's going to be 40. Here's 1%, here's 100%, here's 10%, here's 1%. And so 8%, you're just going to times 8. That's going to be 320. 1%, so 3% is going to be 120. Anyways, so there's a couple examples of how to do percent of questions super fast when they're super easy numbers, okay? The book gives you tougher numbers a lot of the time, so I just want to make sure you see with the easy numbers here, all right?